Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay. How's everybody? How was your weekend? Okay, let me say hi to everyone first. Hi, John, Evie, Amy, Eliz, Evie, Cyan, Carol, Beth, Kathleen, Pinayonse, Danji, Robin Carr, Darren, Angel Star, Elaine, Reg, Jelma, Cyan, Amy, Danji, Marie, Melanie, Leia, Lucy in the Sky, BTS Paved the Way is on X, Dodger Girl is on Twitch, Madeline, Reina, Orchid, BTS OT7, Josie, Kemuning, Namhar, Jennifer, Elaine, Shelling, Personal Space, Phaedra. Phaedra, I got your DM on Patreon and I will respond. It's long. Rainstorm, Gemini, Nigma, Shell, Doris, Madeline, Salma, I am Claudia, Consuelo, Susan, Nora, Josie, H. Erickson, Share Your Love, Rhea, Disha Jelly, Elizabeth, Beck, Lindsay, Salmart, Owensky, Evie. Okay, Marie. I think I've gotten everyone. Hi, JJ. How are you? Are you all excited? Bang Luna. Hi. No, you're just on time. I just started. Sam Jones. Hello. Are you all excited with the news? Oh my God. I am so excited because Tom Cruise, I think in the only time I've ever actually been to the cinema, to a movie theater, is to watch BTS movies, documentaries, movie events, and his movies, Tom Cruise's movies. Because I feel like he's really the only, or at least his is the only, um, his movies are the only ones that really appeal to me that I would actually go out of my way to leave the house and go to an actual cinema to watch. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't agree with with Tom Cruise, but I have to admit that when it comes to making movies, he is just top tier. The commitment of that guy to not do CGI, I just have to be very, very respectful of the efforts that he puts into it. So I'm very happy that he's actually going to be appearing in Ronjen. And also he's a fun guy. Like when he goes on TV, he puts on his fun persona. He's very serious when it comes to work. And if you've been watching some of his clips, his behind the scenes for Mission Impossible, the final reckoning, you would actually see how intense he is on the set. And he's very detailed, like he wants to make sure that his vision gets across. And I mean, if I am the one directing any movie that he is doing, I would be scared because he himself has a very, very clear vision. And so, but when he goes into the shows, he actually puts on like a fun persona. He knows how to dance their tune. Like he joins in the fun. He's not Tom Cruise. He's like, I'm just one of you guys and we're going to have fun. So I'm sure that he and Jin are actually had fun during the filming of this. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan, but definitely love the Mission Impossible movies. Yeah, any movies that he has put out, I've loved. Top yeah, Top Gun. I love that. And he just has this, he gives it his all. And like when I watch his movies, like I'm just watching a movie. That's all I'm doing. Like I'm not just getting entertained. And my reality suspended and all. So I really love that. I really love the movies that he actually releases. So I'm very excited with that. But let's talk about that for a while. Whose birthday is it? Evie, happy birthday. Anyone hear what he did for Ice? Who's Ice? Okay. BT, I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. Okay, I agree. Debak is right here. He's not in a good mood because I went to I had him shaved because it's really hot. So it was very hot during the weekend, right? So and then days before that it was getting hot and he kept on scratching and I'm like, oh my god, why do you keep on scratching? Well, the my friend who's a dog trainer already told me that it's just the heat, so he's probably not comfortable because he does better with the cold. And like, what if he has ticks and whatever? Although he takes non anti-flea med. That's like, what if he has ticks or whatever? And so I took him to the vet, not vet, but the groomer, and I had him shaved, and he looks miserable yesterday. But he's as sweet as ever. Maybe he's gonna be in the mood to actually join me in a bit. But he's cute. He's still very cute, but he lost his fur. um okay, the last movie of his that ate. Okay. The only movies I've watched of him, the one line, you can't handle the truth, and the firm only, I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. I met Tom at a restaurant in London. He actually grabbed our dinner bill. He talked motorcycles with my husband. I heard that he has the habit of paying for uh, restaurant bills, like bills of like firemen and officers like the police, which is good. I think that's what I heard of, because a friend of mine who is dating a police officer told him about it, that like if he goes into a restaurant and he sees like officers there, he would pay for them. So I think that's a nice gesture, right? Okay. I'm excited to see it, but I'm hoping I won't end up being cringy. You know, sometimes foreign celebrities guesting in Korean shows is cringy to watch, or maybe it's just me. I think it depends on how you interpret cringy, but okay. Because my entry to Korean entertainment was actually variety shows. So I'm used to the kind of humor in Korea. So I will show you some clips. But Tom Cruise is actually not new in Korean variety show. He did Running Man together with Henry Cavill 6 years ago, and that's Simon Pegg. So it was fun. The only thing that so Running Man used to be very, very funny for me. It was actually the very first variety show I started watching from Korea. I'll show you some clips in a bit. But I think in the last, of course, like any other show, because they've been on for like 11 years, I think, or maybe 12. So, of course, like any other show, like any other television show, they've had some changes in the cast, right? And so as the cast changes, of course, the I guess the tone of the show changes, the color of the show changes. And so at some point I was like, it's not fun. It doesn't do it anymore for me. I don't find it that funny anymore. But I really love the first maybe 7, 8 years of it. It was really funny for me. So the original cast is what I really love. So during that time, and I think they were really running out of ideas already. So the original concept of the show is that they have a name tag at the back, and then you tear it down, you tear it, you try to tear it, and so whoever tears it. But before you get to that, usually that's the final game. But before you get to that final game, there's like several more other games. So by the time Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill and Simon Pegg actually appeared in the show, they were already kind of in the decline. At least for me, this is my personal opinion. Of course, there are still some loyal followers. There are still some people that are still following the show and are still watching the show. But during this time, to me, the quality and the ideas they were coming up with weren't as funny anymore. So it's like, so I was initially expecting, when I heard that Tom Cruise was going to be on the show together with Henry Cavill and Simon Pegg, I thought they were going to be a little more physical, because that's what Tom Cruise, that's where he blossoms. Tom Cruise, that's where he blossoms. That's when he actually, you get him going when it is a physical challenge or something challenging. But I thought, like, don't make them sit down and then do something while they're sitting down. They're not, he's not, you won't get the most out of it from him. You won't get the most out of him with that. But that's exactly what they did. They were sitting and they were playing games while they were sitting down, but it was still funny. I mean, I think, in all fairness to Tom Cruise and to Simon Pegg, and probably even to Henry Cavill, they did their best. It's just that it's so limited. So they're not natural comedians, so it kind of limited how they can interact with everybody else. So, but it was okay. It was okay. I still watch Running Man, but prefer One Night, 2 days. So I'll discuss some variety shows. One Night, 2 days is actually one of my favorites. But yeah, they're funny. One Night, 2 days, or they were funny. But just like Running Man, I prefer the older versions. I think it's just a matter of, when a show has been on for quite some time, you kind of run out of ideas. So Running Man has gone through several executive producers already, but I don't think they're gonna go back to their glory days, just because, but they're still on. They're still going, and there's still a lot of people who keep track of the show. So okay, so that's the three of them trying to make their version of the heart. And so, he's very funny. One second. So this is Henry Cavill. I have a huge crush on Henry Cavill, by the way. So this is Henry Cavill, and then I'm sure that you're familiar with Yoo Jae-suk, who's considered to be the national MC of South Korea. And then, okay, let's see. So I think they are going to they're going to publish the episode of Jin and, with Tom Cruise, the week of Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, either the week before or the week when it runs already, to promote the movie. So here is the, um when Tom Cruise appeared in Running Man. Okay, let's check it.
Well done. 쪼이게 한번 가봅시다. 오케이.
Okay, Simon. Let's go, Simon. Come on.
Simon.
Simon. 제발. Let's go.
아, 우리 사이먼 형은 사이먼. 아, 이제 아쉬워. 네. 야, 우리. 야, 대박이다.
I think I'm gonna choose Lee. All right, let's go. Oh, look at these people suddenly.
사이먼 형하고 이광수 씨가 이 안에 있는 게
So this guy, the one that Simon Pegg is going up against with, is the matinee of Running Man. And he's sort of known as the betrayer of the group. Like, if sometimes there would be games and episodes where it's team A, team B, and it's the same cast, so they will divide the cast into two or three sometimes, and then they'll have guests. And Kwang Soo, the tall guy, the one that Simon Pegg is actually going against, he is known as the betrayer. So, but he's a matinee as well. So that's his role. That's the character that he developed in the game. Okay, let's see.
빠르게 가니까 잘 보셔야 돼요.
Yeah.
아, 근데 사이먼 형한테 진짜 이래도 되는 거야?
해.
아, 근데 사이먼 형한테 진짜 이래도 되는 거야? 빨리 해. 사이먼 형한테. 와,
I got my superhero pose.
빨리 해줘요.
Oh, it's nothing. It's ooh. 없는데? There's nothing in there. Oh, hang on. It's in a shelf. It's above the. Oh. What is this madness?
너무 나오지 마. 너무 나오지 마. 보였어.
It's a box.
너무 많이 없어. 너무 많이 없어.
Sorry.
Simon Simon guessed what it was. It was a broccoli. So it was okay, but as I've said, I felt like they underutilized Tom Cruise and Harry Cavill and Simon Pegg. I think they could have done more had the challenges been physical. The only thing is that I think probably they had limitations because usually the celebrities, especially if it's a Hollywood celebrity, they would come in with specific conditions. You can't, like, it would be suicide for them to put Tom Cruise outside, right? Because that's just going to it's going to cause pandemonium in the streets. So they were probably like, oh, we need to do something indoor or whatever. But I felt like still they could have done something more if they rented an entire building or something and had him do crazy things, which they have done in the past. Because one of the funniest episodes they've actually ever done was with Jackie Chan. So this was during it was still the original cast. Kwang Soo was still there. Kwang Soo did quit. Um, he had to beg off the show because he's an actor. He's actually a pretty good actor. So yeah, so I felt like it was underutilized, but I think they could have done better had they had him do physical stuff the way they did with Jackie Chan. But I would encourage you to watch it just to like see. I think Tom Cruise did his best. And then someone was asking if Henry Cavill actually became a dad. Yes. He became a dad last year, I believe. So he's actually known as he's an old fashioned guy in Hollywood. He's very, for him, chivalry is very much alive. And I've actually experienced this firsthand because I was in the same room with him. I did not talk with him directly. I was just in the same room with him. And I'm sure he would not remember me because there's a lot of other people in the room. So, but whenever a girl or a woman would go out, stand up or go out, stand up. So we're like, if we're sitting down and somebody in the same table and someone actually stands up, he will stand up. And then if somebody comes in the room, he would also stand up. And he's very old fashioned. He would pull the chair for very, very gentleman. He would pull the chair for women, and he would bring you water. Like, he is such a chivalry is not dead to him. So, and he's known as that in Hollywood. Like, if you ever come across an interview talking about him, just listen, because people will actually describe like this. He's such a gentleman in Hollywood. He's known for that. um I would have Where is that? I would have liked Tom Cruise and Kim Jong-kook in a strength contest. I would have wanted that too. So Kim Jong-kook, he one of the cast, and I'll go through some more details in this variety shows. But they develop their own characters in the show. It's still them, but like they play certain roles just to make it fun. So Kim Jong-kook, he's the guy that pulled okay, this you will remember. So he's the guy that pulled the shirt. Now, well, not pulled the shirt, at least not intentionally. He pulled the shirt of Jungkook. So he was the one who held down Jungkook, Jimin, and Suga. I think three of them when BTS was in Running Man. When they appeared in Running Man. So there was this guy who was holding the three members, and that was him. And he's known as the commander because he's really strong. A lot of professional athletes have actually come on the show, and even they were saying like he's actually really strong. That's like what you see is not just muscles, he's really very strong. So I also would have loved like a one-on-one between Tom Cruise and him. So yeah, he's known as the commander. And in the original cast he had like the commander and the two kids, which is The other one is Kangiri, and then the other one is Haha, who's still in the show. So okay, so that's one. Henry's baby born this past January, Super Daddy. Yeah, he's still single though. That I'm not so sure. He's not married yet. That I think that's a better way of saying it. He's not married yet, but maybe they're gonna get married in the future. I don't know. Ted goes to his gym. Yeah, and I think he has trained. Jungkook has also trained with him. Yeah, so he's such a filial son. He's so loyal to his mom. He would bring his mom to everywhere he goes. Like if he goes out of the country or whatever, he would go. And then he's a character. His family is a character. He is also very very smart. His brother is a surgeon. He's a doctor. So he's a surgeon. And yeah, and his father, he said, is so thrifty. One time, he and his mom, so he took his mom for an out of the country, whatever. I think they're going to have a show or whatever. And he took his mom with him. And only his dad was left in the house. And when they came back, the electricity bill was zero. So he was like, he switched it off completely. That's how thrifty his father is. So okay, proper gent. It's been a while since I've heard of that. Something my mom used to always say. Yeah, he is such a perfect gentleman. He's like, and it's not a put on. He's not even aware that he's doing it, because in one show he was like, "Oh, I do that." I just like I'm not even aware that I'm doing that. That's because it's just in his system. That's how he was raised. Okay. Te was in Warang back in 2016, so he had his acting debut first. I'm hoping he will pursue more acting when he comes home. He's a natural. He is a natural. That definitely. I hope that he does some movies as well. And he's surrounded by actor friends too. Correct. So I hope so. Asian, looking forward to seeing both Jin and Tom Cruise. Both are athletic and love challenges. Both of them have been Olympic torchbearer. Yeah. So Tom was the one who closed Paris Olympic, and he took the torch to LA. He took the torch to LA. So yes, I'm really looking forward to that. Okay. So that's for Tom Cruise. I hope you are all excited because I am. I'm super excited. And I also have already bought my ticket for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I'm going to take my mom for the first time for iPick. For all those who are in LA, I'm sure that you know what an iPick is. So the chairs are lady boys. I just want my mom to experience it. I'm not particularly fond of it, but I just want my mom to experience it. Okay. A Brown. Danji said the only issue with Taeyong is he keeps talking like he's a historical character. If he stops that, he might be okay. What does that mean? Okay, so the other one is the girl in allegedly. I guess Big Hit confirmed it. So I guess they confirmed that the girl in the music video is Shin Se-kyung. She was born 1990. I think she was born 1990 or 1991. So that makes her 34. And she's an actress. She was a child star. Mission Impossible, Jin Possible. I hope if he does, as far as I know, this is his last Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible. But I hope that he gets Jin to appear in one of his movies. Okay. Maybe they can do something new. All right. Maybe Jin is the villain. How is Jin as a villain? Do you envision Jin as the villain? Or it will appear as if Jin is the villain throughout the movie, only for in the end for it to be revealed that it's actually Tom Cruise is the bad guy. How's that? Opuka, I saw your message. I just haven't had the time to respond because there's just so many going. I'm still fixing my flight and my activities for Asian Fashion Week, but I will respond. So yes, I would love to meet you guys too. I would love to meet you too. Has the date for Ranjin episode with Tom Cruise been released yet? Not yet. So my guess is that it's going to be the week of Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, and then a standoff. I tell you. I would love to see that. I really would love to see that. Uh, yeah, something like I want the two of them to face off, like the two of them to have like a battle in the end, like an actual face off. And I would love for it to either I'm okay to for either like Jin will be the villain or Jin will be the good guy and Tom Cruise will be the villain. I just feel like all the acting opportunity actually goes to the villain most of the time. So let's go for the villain. Okay. So the girl in the music video would be Shin Se-kyung. So she's been a child star. She started her career since at 8 years old, and she has one of the prettiest she's one of the prettiest faces in Korean entertainment. In fact, she's so pretty that she was actually criticized for being pretty. Would you imagine that? You there's just no way for you to go in South Korea. If you're not pretty, they're going to lambast you. If you're pretty, they're going to hate you for being too pretty. So her high kick, I think, is her breakout role. And then after that, one project after the other. But as I've said, she started at 8 years old. Now it was actually in this show where she was criticized for being pretty because her role is that she was supposed to pretend like she was a guy in this movie, and everyone, or this TV series, sorry, and then everyone said like, you're not convincing as a guy because you're too pretty. Like, no matter what you do with your hair and your clothing, you are still gonna look like a girl, and a pretty one at that. And so everyone criticized her acting for it. But okay, and then the other thing is that got into a relationship, so there. So in this scene, she was supposed to be a boy here, and everyone said like, ah, no, you don't like okay, I'm gonna block this person. Oh, he's on Twitch. Okay, how do I block someone on Twitch? Okay, so let me go to Twitch first, because someone's sorry, I'm pausing because I just want to go to Twitch and block someone. Okay. The acting was solid, but I agree you'd have to be blind to think she was a man. So yeah, in this particular scene, she was supposed to be a man, and everyone said like, you're not convincing anybody that you are a man because you're too pretty to be a man. So that's one criticism thrown at her. One second. Okay. I'm looking for my channel because I'm gonna block someone. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Just ignore the person that's uh, putting ads because I will have to do that later. Okay. So another thing is that she actually, okay, so she went out, she dated Jong-yoon, who's the late Jong-yoon, the member of Shiny. And I felt so bad for them because just like any other most couples in Korean entertainment, their photos were published without their permission. So they eventually, because of the pressure, she was highly criticized for it because everyone was like, they're it's so evil. The things that people said about them, it was so evil. People were saying like, oh, you're too pretty for him, why are you dating down, stuff like that. And so at some point, um she I don't know why they broke up, but they did. Other people said that it was because of the criticism she was getting and it was affecting her career. But the vile things that people were saying about Jonghyun, like, yeah, they were like, this is you are way out of his league. Why are you settling down with somebody you can do better and stuff like that? Um, yeah. So okay, this is the schedule. So let's all wait for the music video. I am excited. She actually took a break from doing projects for certain number of years, but she's back. She's now doing movies and different TV shows. So I would be waiting for this for sure. So she's a fine actress. She's a fine actress. Okay, and this is the schedule of Jin. So I just got this from All for Jin. That's a fan base, an X account dedicated to their Jin bias. So this is his schedule all the way until August 10. And as you can see, there's not much going on in June. Just I am assuming because for June he has the 8th, which is the high touch event in Tokyo, and then he has 28th and 29th. And as you know, BTS members are getting discharged right around this time. So I'm assuming it's because they're going to come together. I'm hoping that they're actually going to do a live stream or at least post a video or a photo or whatever of all of them together. Give me 1 second. So I'm hoping that they do that. And then, but I think primary reason that's kept blank is that is the time for them to come together again. Whether they're gonna do something public or it's them coming together and to just plan things out, whatever. But that is my guess that that chunk between the 8th to the 28th of June is dedicated to BTS. 1 second. Okay, so let's hope that that is the reason he doesn't have a lot going on between the 8th and the 28th. That's so that they can plan things out and come together. And I hope that they will at least post pictures, if not do a live stream, at least post pictures. Fairlane, you need to do a video of Korean bullying and lack of uplift support for women by women. You are so great on historical valid info. Um, I've been planning to do this because a lot of the it's such an interesting. But I think the one thing that's getting in my way is that I think I need an expert in Korean culture, and I can't just because there I have friends that can talk about it, but they are Koreans, but they're not like experts, and I think I need someone from an with an academic perspective if I do something like that because that's it's such an integrated part of their culture. It's so integrated in their culture that it seems so normal. But also saying something like that would be very it's heavy. It's heavy for the country and it's heavy for the people. So I think I need someone with proper academic background to talk about something like that. But aside from her and aside from him, also it's not just bullying against women; it's also bullying against men. Um, but aside from him, I will not attempt to speak about what happened to him because I really don't know. Uh, I'm just at the mercy of whatever is being printed and translated into English. But aside from him, there's a lot more who have gone that path. So, okay. I'm manifesting all of them will be in Hobie's concert on the 13th. I need tickets for the HOTS live streaming. I think the ones that are out could, because even if Suga saves his vacation so that he can he can end his service early. He's still uniformed until the day that he's supposed to be released, this discharged. So yeah, I think maybe I hope they appear, but I think they will wait for him before they do anything. But I don't know. They're so unpredictable, so I don't know. Okay. I hope they do the Northern Lights trip like Tess suggested in hopefully for the Bon Voyage series return. That's one of my dreams for them to do a short vacation, the seven of them, just to get used to being seven again, maybe. But then if you look at their vacation, so maybe that's one of the things that they're going to do in this on the between the 8th and the 28th. Who knows, right? But yeah, because we have to consider that Jin is actually going to go on tour. So okay, but Suga could attend. He can attend the event. He cannot perform, but he can be there. Yes, he can watch, but he cannot perform. I also think because of everything that has happened, I think he's going to be very extra. He's going to be very, very careful on whatever he's going to be doing. So let's see. They're unpredictable. So who knows? Even if Yonggi is just in the audience, as long as they're all in one place. Of course. I mean, even if they're in the same vicinity, I'm okay with that. Now for J Hope's concert, his encore, he is actually sold out 2 days just on the just for the pre-selling for the army membership. It's already sold out, so no more tickets. I'm sorry. And they're very, very strict. This is one of the strictest ticketing that I've ever seen. You only get to buy one for each person. So you cannot buy for your friend. Your friend will just have to buy for herself. So if you're trying to bring your mom, then good luck. And then, so you can buy a maximum of two, one each day. So it's so strict. So congratulations to Hobie. Not that I'm surprised. I mean, after he oversold BMO, I felt like that's the standard now. It's not enough that you're sold out. You have to be oversold. So I'm not surprised that he actually did it. Congratulations to him. And then there are talks that he is actually going to release his solo album. And this was published in Korean Economic Daily. And it was from Yonde, the research center. They were the ones who said that J Hope's physical album will be expected to be released in June and July. So that's according to Yonde, Motor Securities. Securities. So June and July is what they're saying he's going to be releasing his next album, which I thought was such an interesting timing because it's like he's done with the tour and then but then who knows, right? He's probably finishing the album while he's doing the tour. So who knows? Okay, an audience shot of the other six will be fine with me. I'm not picky. I whatever. I mean, I meet the voices will be enough for me. Whatever, Pinky. Just even if they can't show, for example, if they can't show Suga, I would be happy with the shoulder of Suga or the elbows. Whatever they can give, I'll take it. Okay, so if it does release, they release this. Yonde Motor Securities actually release this in relation to their economic predictions, the financial predictions that they have. So they think that BTS's contribution for 2025 will go up from 15% last year, 2024. So they're saying that 50% of the overall income of HYBE actually came from BTS, even though all of the members, well, except two, were still serving the military, and they essentially couldn't do anything in 2024 because Jin just was released. And as you all know, streaming actually does not really it doesn't earn a lot of money. And all they had was streaming and physical album sales. And there was also a drop, not globally, there was a drop in physical album sales. So it was still 15% for from last year, and then it's going to go up their prediction to 34% this year, and by 2026 it's going to be 48% of the overall income. That's just the prediction. So this prediction, this is the reason they stated that J-Hope is actually anticipated to release his next album, so June or July. Okay. Is Hobie releasing June or July? I just discussed that. I know that the this is late, so okay. Uh, Researcher Kim estimated that the scale of the tour will reach a minimum of 4 million, 70 times, and a maximum of 6 million, more than 100 times. This is a scale that ranks them in the top 3 among global artists. So they're talking about the the tour. Okay. He said 17 has always steadily gained experience in the West through Lollapalooza, Berlin last year, Pal North or South America this year. So, okay. So that's, they were just discussing the anticipated earnings of BTS. Now, a lot of you were asking me, what's the standard to reach? Like, what is it? What's the highest that they have ever reached? In terms of scale, uh, PTD is unbeatable because this is 7 shows. PTD had 7 shows, and 7 shows amassed 1.6 million, 1.6, almost 1.7 million tickets, and they earned 118.28, and that is 7 shows. So that, if you're talking like the standard, that is the standard. So 7 shows, 118.28 million. That's for the group. Now for individual, the last, we all know this, but SUGA had the highest at 57.2 million. Highest grossing tour by a Korean soloist in history. Probably Asian native soloist in history. That belongs to him at 57.2. And as you know, for a time, he actually held the record with the highest grossing single concert in an arena. He got 3 million, and then it was surpassed by Drake with 5 million, but it was a much bigger venue as well. Okay, so those, that's your bar. If you're talking bar, that's your bar. 118.28 million for almost 1.7 million tickets, 1.68 or 1.69 if you want to round it off. 1.69 million tickets for 7 shows, and they amassed 118.28 million. So how much do they earn? As I've always say, I like doing just clean 30%. It's probably an underestimation, but it's easier for me. Just 118.20 million. So remember, they have to pay the venue. It's probably higher here because it's semi-residency. They weren't really touring around so much. So they set up the stage, and then they were staying in one place, which makes everything cost effective. So it's probably higher, but I like doing conservative estimates. So I will still go 30%. So 30%, that's clean on their pockets. Okay. And then 57.2 for SUGA. Okay, so these are some questions that you guys sent me. Will Jungkook resume? Because there's a lot of chatter going online about Jungkook immediately resuming his solo activities after discharge from the military. There are some publications that are mentioning that, but nothing that are coming from financial institutions, certainly nothing coming from Hybe or Big Hit. So I will just say, take it with a grain of salt. I think it is great if he decides he wants to do a tour, he wants to release an album after getting discharged from the military. That's great. I mean, that happy for all of us, right? And I will be here for it. If he decides to do a tour, I will make sure to watch his show, especially when he does a stop in LA. If he doesn't do a stop in LA, I'm going to follow him. So I think it's great. Don't like, a lot of these posts are coming from solo accounts that are, and when I mean not just solo but toxic solo accounts, because they are so itchy, they're so eager to have the members leave the group. So they're spreading these rumors and whatever. So if you welcome the idea, they're going to shut up. If you oppose the idea, it's going to fuel them to keep on answering and replying to you, which is what they want. They want attention, they want engagement, and they want the chance to be able to repeat their belief that members should actually leave the group. Okay, so if he does that, fine and well. We will all support it, I'm sure. But right now, all this talk, they're coming from certain publications, one there, here, there, certain Twitter account, but nothing that's coming from financial institutions, and certainly nothing coming from Big Hit. Okay, so if somebody mentions it, just say great. If he does it, perfect. JK has a profile on Ticketmaster. I think it's because of his past shows. So once you have ticketing there, it will always be there. So he's had that for a long time, a really, really long time. But as I've said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If somebody says, oh, he's going to do solo activities, great. That's perfect. I mean, he's a great artist. I'm sure that that's where they're headed anyway. After you do, just in case, just for example, they decide to do all group activities first. After that, they're still going to go solo. So it doesn't matter. The more you get affected and get irritated, the more they're going to say it. So if it doesn't matter, if it has no bearing in your support or whatever, then you're just going to take away that one thing that they want, which is attention. So leave them be. They want to say it, they want to manifest it, they want great. And personally, that's really how I feel. If he decides to do solo activities before they do group activities, I will support it. It doesn't matter. I will support it just as much as I'm supporting Jin, and just as much as I'm supporting J-Hope. It's great, good for for Jungkook. We want that because we want all BTS members to be successful, all of them, not a single person left behind. Okay. Next question that you asked me: if Jin is going on tour July and August, how will he help in the album production of BTS? I I don't think even BTS knows how their dynamics will evolve. I don't think they know that yet. I think, if at all, and this is just my personal speculation, I have absolutely no proof, none whatsoever. I think all they know is that I want all of it, that like, okay, we let's do something together. Let's do this comeback, let's do this tour, and we'll do an album. But I think beyond that, they're not sure yet. They probably have ideas, nothing concrete yet. They're not allowed to do anything anyway, as of now. But I don't think until they actually come together and start working, that's the only time their dynamic and where each member gets placed in that dynamic, that's the only time they will know. So let's also not stress about it. I am pretty sure that Jin told the group members about it, the other members, about his plan to do a tour, and I'm sure they're all okay with it. I have absolutely no doubt that they will be just as supportive. Now, how he's going to be participating in the album, we will know. And I think that's part, instead of getting agitated about it or impatient. Well, I guess it's natural to be impatient, but instead of getting agitated about it, turn it into to excitement. Like if things questions like this and you're like, oh my god, what's going to happen or whatever, be excited about this. It has to be something that we will be looking forward to. So turn it into positive, so that it doesn't stress you out. It might stress you out in a good way. Like this is the welcome stress of thinking about how they're going to do the album next, now that things have changed drastically. But I don't think you should be stressing about one member not getting to participate. Also, if, for example, one member does not help in the writing of the songs, each member has already proven that they can write, and they have very, very successful solo careers. So it doesn't this is a different entity. BTS is a different entity, and then they have their solo careers. And the reason they all did their solo careers is so that they can bring out the things that they can't with a group. So I don't think it would matter to them. I think all of them will be contributing at the end of it in one way or another. And I think what matters to them is the thing that they will create together. So I think they had plans set up pre-enlistment. Next, they will refine plans. Probably, yeah. Probably pre-enlistment. They probably have like a plan, and maybe the other members of Big Hit, like P Dog, maybe even Bang Shiok. They're probably gathering beats, some things that they can put together, and maybe when BTS comes out, uh, gets discharged, they're probably going to go, okay, I have some materials here. Do you want to take a look at something and maybe we can put it together? Maybe that's how it's going to go. So I think people's stress is the fear of the members breaking up, which is valid because they might not stay together forever. I think they've already mentioned, BTS members have already mentioned they want to stay together for a really long time. So I mean, am I going to believe them or somebody else? I'm going to believe them. Now, do I expect them to be this active for the rest of their lives? Their lives? Absolutely not. That's impossible. I mean, at some point, someone's going to get married. Someone's going to want to do something else. Their buddy is not going to allow them to do something like this for the rest of their lives. So I think at some point they're going to slow down. Maybe make a comeback every 2, 3 years. I don't know, but I will count on what they said that as of now, what they want is to stay together for a really long time. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. People think about Yoko. I think Jin going on tour would give the others time to prepare for if they want to do anything. By the time Jin tour is coming to an end, another member may announce their activity and so on and so on. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe we're all wrong. Right? It's BTS. Okay. All seven of them have expressed the desire to stay together forever. It will just have to play out. Correct. Yeah. It's just a matter of, life taking over. Okay, Bangtan papas and grandpapas is what they have said on many occasions now that means performance wise will change, of course, yeah. And we have you know it, are you sure will go on until they're 50 according to the two. So let's see if they do that. Okay, it would be nice, it would be nice if they do like Bon Voyage or In the Soup where they already have kids. So their kids are with them. It would be so cute. Okay. Next question. I want BTS to be like to last like the Backstreet Boys. But even Backstreet Boys took a break. They were off for like more than a decade, right? So, even they had to take a break. Albums are done in parts and may have already laid down some tracks. I wouldn't, yeah, P Dog is there, so I'm sure that he has some beats and some melodies and whatever. Okay, next question that you sent. Will the vocal line participate more in the production of the new album? Just like what I said in the previous question, I don't think that even they know that yet. I think even they are going to feel things out, and until they actually start working together, this is just speculation. Again, I don't know them. I've never been in the same room with the seven of them together. uh, I don't think that I think even they will are excited to discover how the dynamics will change once they come back together. So let's see what's gonna happen. If the vocal line decides to have minimal participation or whatever, I also am not worried. I think the vocal line is just excited to be back together with the team. I also think that they have, which we have to admit that they have some unfinished business. Like the Map of the Soul tour was supposed to be the biggest, and they were going to do all stadiums, and it was going to be so exciting. They've sold out all the venues at pre-sale, so and then they had to cut it off. And I think all of them are like, oh my god, that's the one we need to. That's unfinished business. I'm sure that you've gone through. You've had unfinished businesses in your lives, and that there is nothing you won't do to get it done. So just to get it done, I'm sure that's one of the things that they want to do this tour because this is a tour that was meant to happen 5 years ago and they couldn't do it. Okay. um BTS in the Soup, BTS grandpas probably just playing cards and sleeping. I would love to see like little kids, their kids just playing around. Oh my god, I think I would be so entertained. Just or maybe even like in the Soup, there's just this one kid and all of them are, just spoiling the kids to, to no end. Just I would love that. Okay. RM posted a few days ago, maybe in the practice room, BTS are pure professionals and they always listen to armies. We trust BTS. BTS children would be golden trainees as soon as they could grow. Yeah, they would debut as soon as they come out of their mother's womb. Okay, so that's for BTS. Okay, all right. That's I think is what I have for BTS. Now, do you have questions? Any Filipino researcher for Runjin. People need to go back and listen to what the members have said um, about the future. They all at some point talk about wanting to be BTS for a long time, for a very long time, even if the old, if even if they have, if they are old and have to sit and sing. Okay. Hasn't Hybe already said in their annual report that BTS is reported to start BTS related activities performance in Q4 of 2025? Yeah, we don't know what that means though. It could be a Christmas special, it could be an album. Some financial companies in their reports said that it's going to the album is predicted to be released Q4 of 2025. But if there's anything we know about BTS is that things always move. So let's see. Halina said, I'm sure the vocal line will do more than expected towards the new album. Maybe. I mean, there are so many scenarios in my head that I'm envisioning or imagining how things are going to be playing out. It could be that the the songwriting is going to be more spread out because after, you know, if you've experienced a certain amount of success, like an individual success, it kind of changes you on how you deal with a group, right? And so, but then how it's going to change you could differ. There's also the possibility. So it could be that because they're more confident that they can launch hits, they would be more confident in contributing to BTS. So that's one scenario. The other scenario would be this is they know BTS a certain persona and a certain process before they started doing their individual careers. So there's a huge possibility as well when they would want to just fit back into their old roles. That's also a possibility. So we don't know. Um, so let's see. There are so many ways it could go. It could, because one thing that we also need to consider is that they are already they've they're poised to do individual activities, right? And they should, because we have seen what they can do individually. And I think locking them just in BTS and not allowing them to do, which I don't think anyone can stop them anyway, but not giving them a chance to do and explore solo activities is such an injustice to their talent. So one thing that we need to consider is that I think they're also thinking about that, right? So the question is, how are they going to think about it, and when, given the OT7 activities, are they going to do and plan their individual activities while they are doing OT7 activities, or are they all going to say, let's let go of everything, let go of everything else and just think about OT7, and then we'll think about our individual careers after, which I think is kind of impossible. But let's see. Okay. My observation is after military service, they will continue as BTS in a new phase, acting more mature, touring with new content and music, and will include each member solos while touring as BTS. Let's see if they will actually do that, or maybe they will go the PTD route. In Permission to Dance, they decided they weren't going to do any solo stages because they felt that that the fans haven't seen them in a while as a group, and that their fans actually love them the most as seven. And they've actually said that, they've actually verbalized it, and that's also the reason they stripped down the design of their stage. So if you've gotten the chance to actually go to one of the shows, it's so stripped down, like it's so it isn't as complex and as big and as grand as Love Yourself. And apparently it was on by design, because they said that they felt that what the fans want to see is the seven of them together. So, but then also one possibility would be the members feeling that they would like to do solo activities to give each other a rest for their, my dog is here finally willing to say goodbye. Look, he's so good, not goodbye but hi. So look, he has no fur. Are you gonna tell them about my injustice? The injustice I did to you by shaving you? Okay. Hey, hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Hi. Hi, hi. Hello. He is. He's so precious shaved. It's just that I was really worried because he was scratching. So I thought like, oh my God, does he have like fleas or ticks or whatever? He didn't have any. He's taking meds. It's just that he was scratching, but the groomer said it's natural if it's if it's warm, if they feel warmer, they tend to scratch. So is it because of OnlyFans? I've actually forgotten when was the last time I uploaded content for his OnlyFans, but I will upload content because I you can see his paw better with with him shape. I'm gonna post some paw pics. How's that? Dog is naked. Aw, look, diba? Kathy said that she's scolding me. She said, "You're naked." Because it was so hot during the weekend, like during the and several days before that. It was really, really hot. So I had to shave it. And this is just gonna take like a week and then he's gonna grow his fur back. So I think this is fine. And I'm just gonna shave it again. Do you like your new look? Hmm? He is very cute. This is the summertime debak, yes, correct. Actually, so let's go through some. If you're looking for some variety shows, Korean variety shows to watch, my favorite not Korean, but favorite variety show of all time is actually Japanese. Takeshi's Castle. If you haven't seen it, just search for Takeshi's Castle. It's one of the funniest I've ever seen. But my second favorite of all time is actually Running Man, where Tom Cruise appeared and Jackie Chan also appeared. So this is the original cast. So the guy wearing in front is Kengiri. He is the one wearing solid black jacket, and the one in the middle is Song Jio. She's still in the show. She's an actress. Kengiri was a member of Hisang. He's a rapper and a songwriter. Hisang is one of the most successful Korean hip hop group of all time. And then Jin. So, that's Jin, the namesake of Jin. Uh, so he's also a comedian, and he was a contemporary of Yoo Jae-suk, Jin. So he's mentioned Jin several times already. I think they hit it off after BTS actually appeared in the show. So in the first time they appeared in the show, they hit it off, and they've been exchanging. They're text mates, basically, they're friends. And then he is known as the Impala because he's physically the weakest. Of course, you treat a woman differently, but among the men, he is the weakest. He's also the oldest in the group. And then the one above him wearing a black long sleeve sweater, that's Haha. He's also a rapper. He's also more into reggae, actually, as his music. And he is a long time variety show host. Uh, yeah. Okay. So, Haha. He was very close to Kangari. And then the one beside him, of course, is Yoo Jae-suk, who's the national MC of South Korea. He's kind of the most senior here and also the most successful of all. He's well loved in South Korea. So, and then the one beside him is the commander. So he's the strongest in the group, physically strongest in the group. And as I've said, he's also very smart. His brother is actually a doctor. and then Kwangsu, um, who is no he's the maknae, and he's also known as the betrayer in the group. There's another one, Son Jong-ki. So I'm sure that you're familiar with the name. Son Jong-ki is actually an original cast member, but he quit, I think, in the 12th or 14th episode because he had a lot of acting projects. But he's also an original member. So this is the cast that I really like. So when this was going, I think for about 7 years, they were solid, and I was really watching Running Man, and then one by one they all left. So Son Jong-ki left, and then King Gary left, and then Kwang Soo. And by the time Kwang Soo left, that's when I felt like, not for me anymore. But every now and then I still would watch it. So here are some. I think I can pull some funny stuff from the show. That's King Gary. This is Sparta. Yeah. So the commander's like popular, I guess, cheer is Sparta. That's what he says. So when he's about to go into battle. So one of my favorite things that they've done is super it's like baseball but with superpower. So they in the first part of the show, they went into different games, and then each whoever wins a game gets to choose their superpower. The superpowers were created by the show, so they draw lots, and then whatever you get is your superpower. So it's superpower baseball, and the show, the guests are professional MLB players, like Korean MLB players. So they are professional baseball players in the US, but they're Koreans. And so each member had like a specific superpower that they can use during the game. So this is Kwang Soo, throwing the ball, pitching, and this is his
잘했어. 뭐예요 지금? 아 심판 엠파이어. 아 이거 엠파이어 이거 뭐예요 이거? 아 잠깐. 자 플레이볼. 투수 하면 다 같이 룰러 하는 거예요. 투수 룰러. 둘 셋. 주신수를 지배하는 자. 뭐야?
실수를 지배하는 자.
he's an MLB batter.
야 탁구 칠래니까 아 이거 좋다.
아, 이거 어떡해.
아 이거 좀 너무한 거 아니에요 이거? 아, 저걸로 쳐야 돼? 아니 이거 치라는 거예요? 말하는 거예요 이거? 말하는 거야? 아 그래? 이거 말하는 거야 몰랐어. 우산으로 쳐야 돼? 다들 이 방망이야. 많이 나가지. 아 다들 이 방망이? 죄송하게 됐습니다. 고! 뭐야? 고! 골이 우습게 됐습니다 이게. 죄송합니다. 주신수가. 자 플레이볼. 슛!
See, that's how good he is. He still hit it with that kind of a bat. So so they have different superpower, and then they also had another one, which is superpower football, and their guest was he was like a superstar football player from Korea who played in Europe. So they have all this kind of, like, in the beginning, they were so creative with their games, and that's why I was so engaged. And then, just as I've said, at some point, I guess they run out of things to do, that I also started losing interest. But if you ever want to like just be entertained and laugh, you can watch this. The first 10 episodes, it was, I think they were trying to find their bearing, that they just, it wasn't funny. I think they were still like trying to get used to each other. I think after the 10th episode, it was just, it really became funny for me. So, and then I've watched them until Kwang Soo actually left. And yeah, so Kwang Soo, his girlfriend is an actress, and that's where they met in this show. And it was so funny because it was the girl who was saying like Kwang Soo is her ideal type. So, and then One Night 2 Days, I also love the original cast. So this is the original cast of the show. First is Kang Ho Dong, and the format of the show is for, they would go out of town, so it's for 1 night and 2 days, and they will play games so they can earn food or money or get some supplies so that they can last the night. So it's a very very simple concept, but they were able to display the different parts of South Korea, like the places that they would recommend to foreigners to go to when they visit Korea. So this is Kang Ho Dong. He's like the main MC of the show, and then he had to leave the show when he got into a tax evasion case, which he was cleared of. But this is another. They're so stringent. Like South Korean society is so stringent. Apparently, what he said was that, well, according to his explanation, is that he has an accountant, and apparently the accountant was not doing his job well. I think he's not a very good accountant, or she's not a very good accountant, because later on they found out that he wasn't paying enough, which he paid after. Like after he got audited, he paid it, and he explained that, I have an accountant who's taking care of business and whatever. I just didn't know that she or he wasn't doing his job well. So, but he had to stop any kind of activity for about 2 years. So it took him 2 years to self-reflect. So 2 years after, he went back. Yi Seong-gi, he's not actually an original member. He joined the cast, I think, in the 10th or 12th episode. But I'm sure that this name is very familiar to you. He's an actor and also a singer and a very popular celebrity in South Korea. So he was with 1 night and 2 days in the beginning, until he had to leave because of acting commitments. He just had to do a lot of other things. He did sue his company. I'm sure, as I've said, that you are very familiar with the name. He sued his company because he was not getting paid well. And one of the main contentions in the lawsuit was that his company kept on telling him that his music wasn't earning well. So he wasn't getting paid for the songs that he was releasing, only for him to find out later that they were withholding millions and millions of dollars. But he was still getting paid well enough for him to be rich. So that when he lost the lawsuit, sorry, not lost the lawsuit, when he won the lawsuit and he was granted money, he was given money. The court asked the company to pay him. He actually donated all the proceeds, the money that was paid to him. He just donated it. So okay, so he was also a member of that show. Another one, sorry, this is Un Ji Won. So Un Ji Won, I wasn't able to change it. So he is a member of Sex Kiss, I think is how it's supposed to be pronounced. He is a rapper, and he was the leader of that group. Yeah, and then he left. I'm not sure why he left, but he was there for, I think, 2 seasons or whatever. And then MC Mong is a famous solo rapper. So this is such a tragedy, because this guy is so funny, and he's known as the complainer, the whiner in the show. But that's just that's not his natural like personality, just the character that he developed in the show. But he was embroiled. He evaded military service. So he pulled out, I think, 6 of his teeth in order to evade military service. Apparently, when you have like, when you're missing a certain amount of teeth, then you are actually exempted. So he got it pulled out. so that he got so for then he didn't have to serve, but someone learned about it, they exposed it, and he was castigated by the entire society that he had to stop activities for about 6 years, I think. So for 6 years he didn't do anything. And yeah, so he was actually Kim Jong-kook, the commander, Sparta of Running Man, actually told him already, just accept it, that it's just something that you have to do, just for 18 months you're out, that's it, that you just have to accept it. But I guess he thought he can get away with it, and so yeah, so for 6 years, and he also had to leave the show. Okay, so that's and then there's one more member of the cast, which is an older guy. He's Sugun. He's a comedian, and he's still very, very active in the entertainment industry. So if you wanna, for me, the first season is the best. So the after that, when the cast started changing, and so one would come in and get replaced, it didn't appeal to me. But go ahead and check them out. They're one of the funniest for me. Moral of the story: don't do anything or you'll be exiled. Correct. So sorry, my God, how can I forget? This is the most important cast member, Songgun, who is the dog of the entire show. So he was there for almost the entirety of the first season, and then he started getting sick because he's pretty old. But they took care of him. Like, he was a regular member of the show, and they would take him wherever they go. They would take turns walking the dog, feeding the dog, and he was just a ball of sunshine in the show. So he was very, very popular until he had to beg off because he just got sick. Scamming to be exempt from the military duty. What happened to self-reflection and honor? Yeah, exactly. I think he learned his lesson. Definitely, there's another celebrity, Steven Yun, as you would know, who evaded military service by becoming a citizen of the United States of America, and he couldn't come back to the U.S. to Korea anymore, even for a visit. So that's why I knew, just based on all of this. As I've said, I was more into drama and variety show before I got into K-pop. So when this thing started with BTS, this talk about them getting exempted or whatever, I knew that they will not allow themselves to get exempted because they are sure that they would get into the same, like, they would suffer the same fate as these people. So I thought, like, no, these boys are going to serve and just take it, like that, sacrifice that 18 months and be done with it. So there's a lot more, many other celebrities who's tried this, and none of those celebrities actually was able to go back to their career. Okay. Um, Someone was asking, what is the show where they wear school uniforms? It's also hosted by Kang Ho Dong. Um, well, now I forget. The name was on my head when you asked the question. It will come back. Okay. So, and then they always stated they would serve. Yeah, yes, they will always. That's another shot of the dog. Such a lovely, lovely dog. Okay. Next is family outing. This is another one. So Yori, I'm sure you are familiar with her. She was a first gen idol. She was a cast member, and then several more others. So this is Knowing Brothers. Oh, there you go. That's the name of the show. This is the show where they wear school uniform, and it's a school setup, and then the guests would be in front, and the boys will be the one asking questions. So that's Knowing Brothers. This is member of Big Bang, and then Yori, and then and Yoo Jae-suk as well. So it's also a very popular show. For any BTS Fire Butterfly, thank you. For any BTS related activities you can think of. Okay, thank you so much. I hope to meet you. Are you going to New Jersey for Jin? Okay, so same concept. They actually launched this show to compete with One Night and 2 Days. So at some point, Jungkook, the commander, actually joined the show. Um, yeah, I think he joined the show like after one season or something. So yeah, so family outing, also a good show. The dynamic. This one is a little different because there's a woman in the cast, and they're always the women in the cast. They're the boss. They're the bosses in the show. But same thing, they would go into one night or sometimes two nights, and they would go to different parts of South Korea, and they would play games in order to win money to buy food or other supplies. Okay. So, and then one more. Yeah, so this is the cast members. Kim Jong-kook came in November. Yori was the first ever guest on Running Man. Correct. Yeah, she was the first ever. She's known for cheating, and she did cheat in the first episode of Running Man, and then Infinite Challenge. This is a classic. They were around for like 12 years, I think. And this is the original, not the original cast members, but that many were actually original cast members. But this is a little I love when they cheat. That's your girl. I love when they cheat. You are very, very trained by, we were trained by BTS with on BTS. So theirs is a little different because many of their missions are long-term missions. So they would, for example, one of their most popular things that they do yearly is the song festival, the Infinite Challenge Song Festival. And so they would invite some of their friends to do sometimes original music, sometimes they would rearrange existing music, and then they'll do like an entire festival around it, like an actual festival around it. They would do a concert around it. So let's see, I think I saved something here. Oh, yeah. Guess who is it? That's Big Bang. So that's Taeyang and GD. So they were the guest of one of the members, and they actually, I think they wrote an original piece. Yeah, Big Bang. So it's kind of different. Like for you to be able to appreciate the show, you actually have to follow the show, because you will be able to better appreciate the things that they went through in order to produce a song or whatever. But it's not just the age that not just it's not just the festival, not just the song festival. They did other things, but usually long-term projects. So those are some of the ones that I really followed and the ones that I find the funniest. So if you ever want to check out any of the variety shows of South Korea, check those out. I would say that my favorite remains to be Run BTS, of course. Next to that would be the old version of Running Man and the old and Infant Challenge, and then One Night, 2 Days, and then Family Outing. I remember Hiyori in a variety show reading BP's song lyrics, and she was just so funny. I think it was. Yeah, so they did the show, Hiyori. They did the show, and they were given like a song sheet, like the lyrics of a song, and she was trying to read it. She was reading it with Yoo Jae-suk. She was with Yoo Jae-suk, and she was reading it, and then at some point she was like, "What the hell is this lyrics? Like this doesn't mean anything." And it was a song of Blackpink. It was so funny because she didn't know. She didn't know that it was a Blackpink song. But she was like, this doesn't mean anything. This doesn't make any sense. And you can see it in her face that she was really trying to understand the song. And it was just like, oh my God, no. So, okay. When you mentioned talking about solos on the preview for this, did you mean the guys' activities or solo fans? Curious if about fans, were you still going to talk about it? Yes, I'm still going to talk about it. Do you want to talk about it now? It's actually just someone sent me a question about solo activities, and um not really a question but more of a complaint. Several people sent a lot of complaints, and I think this still triggered by the AMA thingy. No, it's still, the voting is still going on. I think the voting ends on the 20th. I think on the show day itself is when it's going to end. So um a lot of people are like, a lot of armies are bothered by solo, like fans of just one member and who's just supporting one member. um do I talk about this now? Accurate reaction. Do I want to talk about it now? um okay, so number one, the reason that you're bothered by it is because you see them. You see the solos on your timeline, on YouTube recommending videos to you. You see them on X, on Thread, on whatever it is social media that you're in. You see them. And that is why you're bothered. Let me put this guy down first. You want to go down? Say bye bye. Say bye. Say bye. See, he's so dramatic like this. Say bye bye. Say bye bye to them. It's like I have no fur. Okay. Love you. Love you. Mm. I have 35 more minutes. And then I'm gonna take you out to walk. Hmm? Okay. Okay. Love you. He's a furless baby. He's a furless fur baby. Night. Good night. Okay. Under the bed is his favorite place. Okay. So that's one. The reason that you see a lot of it is because you see it on your timeline. It's getting recommended by YouTube. And quite honestly, there's the only way you won't, if you don't see them, you won't be bothered by it, right? um I will talk about the algorithm. That's supposedly my next topic. So if you're not, if you're not seeing them, you won't be bothered by it. And remember, I did a presentation on how social media is actually designed to keep you in the media, in the platform, not designed to give you the truth. That is why it studies what you like clicking on and give you more of that, because it will make you stay in the in their platform. So the more you engage on content of solo, toxic solo fans, then the more the platform will give it to you. The only way you won't be able to see them is to actually control your algorithm. And you do that by engaging on OT7 content. So if you know that this account is a toxic solo, block, then the algorithm will stop giving it to you. It is the only way, because there is absolutely no way now or in the future will you be able to tell these people, or will you be able to stop solos from toxic solos from existing? That's out of the question. That's not going to happen. And to a certain degree, it's all because BTS members have solo activities. So for as long as they are doing their solo activities, they are going to attract fans that are just fans of them. And some of these fans will turn out to be toxic ones. That's just part of it. From Michael Jackson to the Beatles to Britney Spears to Justin Timberlake to One Direction, all of these stars, to Whitney Houston, to whoever, even whoever that is, they've always had fans that are toxic. Okay, it doesn't mean that this solo toxic fans are the majority. They're just noisy. They're just the loud majority, number one. Sorry, they're the loud minority, number one. And second, they're loud because you're allowing them in your algorithm. So if you don't want to listen to them anymore, if you don't want to see their posts, block. Be active and block, block, block. Anytime you see any content that disparages other members, that talk shit about other members, block. And then like, retweet, share, whatever content that is OT7. Then that's the only content that the algorithm is going to give you. But always remember, if your hope is to not see, is for this solo, toxic solo fans to not exist anymore, that's not going to happen. They're there for better or for worse. Um, but even friendly armies are arguing over who should get the vote. I'm done with it. I just vote for both. Those that are arguing, unless they're arguing for both, are probably not real OT7. I have seen I've seen toxicity for both sides, for RM, for Jimin. It's just that most of the time it's the toxicity towards Jimin that I see, because there's more. I'm just going to be blatant, because there's more Jimin solo fans, right? And so they tend to, there's more of them retweeting, there's more of them commenting, there's more of them posting about it, so you will see more of it, as opposed to those that are fighting for RM. There's less of them, so you don't see a lot of them. Either way, any account that talks shit about Jimin or talk shit about RM, I just block, because it's not worth my time. It's not worth my time, because I have this channel outside of my full-time job, which is not exactly an easy job. It's that it requires my thinking and my concentration. Outside of my full-time job, I have a business, and I have this channel, and then I have a dog, and I have a mom, and I have a niece that all require my time. I cannot allow myself to be pulled away, or I can't allow a single brain cell to be put into something non-productive. So the minute you say something, you do not get a second chance for me. Say something and you will get blocked. I don't care if, probably I'm blocking some people that I'm interpreting the wrong way. That's fine. I mean, sure, whatever. So just block it. The other thing is, you also gotta appreciate the fact that they will, once BTS members start their solo careers again, they're gonna contribute the same way the toxic fans of Britney Spears, the toxic fans of One Direction, the toxic fans of Michael Jackson, or Tate McRae, or Billy, or Sabrina. They have toxic fans, but even if they are toxic, they help in the streaming, in buying their albums, going to their concerts, trending them in social media. So that's the same for these toxic fans. They will still help. We don't want to admit it, we don't want to hear it, and we don't have to, but they will help. So so it's on you. If you feel irritated that they exist, if you feel irritated for the things that they're saying, it's on you, it's not on them. Okay. I think Army needs to make that distinction, because we risk alienating new fans of individual members by label solos all the time. Yeah, and also, like, I never liked this whole RM versus Jimin thing in AMA. It has been happening, but more so in Korean voting. But because I don't really talk about Korean voting, because I don't know how it's done, I don't know if I can help. And most of you are not in Korea anyway. I don't talk a lot about it. But this has been happening for a long time. It just has been highlighted by this. So the minute that happened, when someone, because some of these accounts that started posting about RM not having any international awards, that's when I realized, oh my God, you're either really stupid, or you're just saying shit just so you can convince people to alienate one member, because RM is the most awarded internationally. That's just the truth. Of all the members, he's probably the most awarded internationally. Maybe he can compete with Jungkook or something like that. But that's just the truth. If you look at all his awards, he is the most awarded. As I've said, maybe competing with Jungkook. So the minute that happened, I knew what was going to go next. Like, this is just a whole mess. I don't understand why you can't create several accounts in order to vote as much. And if you say that you can't create more than one account because it's not going to be counted, then all the more better, because there are more armies. Then there are more of us to vote, right? So that the moment that happened, I knew this was just going to be a whole mess, and most likely Stray Kids will win. I'm kidding, or maybe not. RM has more internet. Yes, okay. So yes, I don't. The one thing is that I don't like RM being framed as a loser in any shape or form. No, he he's one of the most critically acclaimed artists in the world. So stop saying like he's not getting recognized. He is getting recognized. It's just that's just not true. A lot of people are appreciating his work, and if so, all of these things like, oh, you're not we're not giving because of 1 billion, like more Jungkook has more 1 billion songs with 1 billion streams in Spotify. And I'm like, okay, so we had this one chance. He released one song, a really great song with Pablo, and it was 10 million in 1 week. So did Stray Kids win already? Not yet. I'm just saying, the moments that started happening, I was like, okay, congratulations, Strays. I mean, Stays. So no, yeah, they haven't won already. So they haven't won yet. Sorry. So that was just me like making light of the situation because I knew that where it was going. But yeah, the moment that happened, I just knew that this is just going to be a whole mess, and it's just going to pity one member over the other instead of it being a fun voting thing. Instead of this armies like not knowing what to do because they have to, you have to vote for both, or uh, teasing each other about losing count as to how many votes they gave one member over the other. I thought that was what was going to happen. Like we were all going to make light of the situation. And there's like, oh my God, I can't remember who I voted for yesterday. Now who am I going to vote for today? That wasn't what happened. What happened was that people were just fighting who's less recognized, who's that. This is just it's silly. um okay, I think we're showing awards show how to make the BTS members not win. Make army compete with each other. Oh, maybe. um, is there a way to know who is winning? No, no objective way of who's winning. You can observe the only platform that will show you an estimate, not an accurate count, would be Instagram. RM and Tablo, Mnet won. They won in Mnet, correct? There you go. Sounds like when in no way possible can you hate Jimin. Yeah, just like, see, This is this is a perfect example. Like we're all like getting hyped up because of something that it shouldn't even be uh, an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. There are two members, we support both. For me, that is case closed. A lot of people that are leaving me messages like saying this, we should vote for blank period. So my response is I'm voting for both period. That's it. You're not going to make me choose. I'm going to vote for both and whatever. I'm voting for Bruno Mars too. So I have several friends, thank God. They have not given up on me yet. So I assigned them on who they're going to be voting. So I split them into two. There are some that are voting for RM, some that are voting for Jimin. And they all are voting for Benson Boone. So they're like, the first time they saw it, I was like, what is this? So I taught them how to do it, how to vote for it. And then they saw that Benson Boone is actually nominated. I was like, oh, Benson Boone is nominated. So they all are voting for him. He's probably going to win. um, I was happy that they were both nominated. That is awesome. It is awesome. I think it's awesome. If only all seven of them can get nominated, then I would be happy. Um, I cannot like a lot of things about Jimin professional, but it's all his friends. I can I can not like a lot of things about Jimin. RM is winning awards left and right and sideways that no matter to musicians more than Billboard. Correct. I agree. Totally agree. Okay, so that is it. Let's stop this. Jimin does not deserve it. RM does not deserve it. Jimin deserves it more. RM deserves it more. The truth is that we're not going to agree 100% on everything. But one thing we can all agree is we want the best for the members. And I don't think, number one, if there's, I don't know them personally. I do not know them personally, but I am pretty sure that neither would like us hating on the other. I don't think RM would like us hating on Jimin, and I don't think Jimin will like us hating on RM. That I'm 99.9% sure, probably 100% sure in that. I also know 100% that we are not all going to agree on everything 100% of the time. So the best thing to do is just vote for who we want. Personally, I'm going to continue voting for both as I have been doing. I have several accounts that I have been using to vote. And that is the end of the story. As for solos that are campaigning for Jimin, solos that are campaigning for RM, that's their right. So if you do not want to see it, just block it so you don't see them anymore. Block it. That's what I would encourage you to do. Block, mute, and block, and you will never see them again. Okay. All right. Next topic. Algorithm changes. Where am I? Where's my okay, algorithm changes. Um okay, so there have been some changes in the algorithm that have been implemented this year that are not getting a lot of attention, primarily because they're downplaying it, and then some are just really not talked about because it's not going to seem organic. Okay, give me 1 second, let me change something. Okay, KG said, "My vote is mine. I don't care what others say." Correct. You go. All right. So a lot of this will affect not just BTS actually, but a lot of other artists or even brands. If you are planning on putting up your own YouTube channel or growing your Instagram account, or um, or growing your TikTok account, or maybe becoming a music influencer or something like that, these changes will actually affect you. But the one that is going to be impacted directly are artists and brands. Okay. One of the things that people need to understand when it comes to YouTube or any social media for that matter, if your account is branded, so when you create your account, it can be a personal one or a branded one. If your channel is branded, you will not grow in the speed that you want unless you spend on ads. And that's just a fact. So if you create a channel, I don't know if you know this, but if you create a YouTube channel, an X account, Threads account, or whatever, you have the option of making it a personal one or a branded one, right? So here is a direct lift from Google, branded account. So if they know that you're branded, they're going to push you down. The algorithm will not pick you up to recommend you. They're not going to find new audience for you because you're a business. And the assumption is that if you're a business, you would want to grow your channel so that you can get new leads, meaning new businesses, new people that will purchase your products. And if you're going to profit from them, they will profit from you. So you are highly encouraged in more ways than one to actually spend on ads, or they will not push you. So for brands, for example, if we don't know how a certain channel is actually set up, but if Hybe is actually set up as a brand, then unless they spend, YouTube will not continue, will hold them down unless they start spending. That's why singers or songs that are advertising, doing paid ads, they get more views because the algorithm is pushing them to more people. Okay. So that's one. If you're a branded account, then most likely you will not grow unless you spend on advertising. Okay. There is what they call the dwell time and the video replays. YouTube is actually focusing on the time viewers spend actively watching a video and replays. So that's a key metric. So if you keep on, like, for example, if you're watching the video more than once, and if you're watching the video longer from beginning to end, then that will be prioritized in their algorithm. The more that they will push it to more audience, other people that are like you. Lookalike is what they call it. So they look for lookalikes as an industry term, and they push your music or your product to the same market. Okay, so something to um, if you want to create something, sorry, if you want to help a video, then one thing that you can do is to watch it more than once. So they used to discourage replays, they're now encouraging it only for algorithm but not for count, meaning if you keep on replaying it, it will not count as a new, it will they will not count it as a new stream. But so if you want it as a new stream, then you will have to do the usual, like change your IP, change your account or whatever. But if you keep on replaying it, it helps the algorithm determine that this is the kind of video that actually gets engagement, and they will look for lookalike audience and push that video to other people. Okay. So always remember, watch from beginning to end, and don't just keep on refreshing but also replay every now and then. Okay. Content integrity and viewer action. So viewer actions such as clicking end screens and participating in polls now have higher impact on video ranking. So for example, there's an end card, right? Like if you're watching a certain video and there are cards, meaning we put some things on the screen that you can click, it's better if you click it because that is interactivity, viewer action. So the more viewer action, the more they will push that video to look alike audience. Okay. So if a BTS video or a BTS music video has end cards, click that because that is better for them. Okay. Dodger Girl said, I also have my YouTube up, but I seldom chat over there. They can get too hostile for me. Okay. My personal account, this one is very old one. And when Google took over, they turned it into a branded account and say it can't be made personal and it's annoying. Yes. Oh, yes, it is very annoying. Very, very annoying. Okay. Good night, Helena. Okay, next, community post engagement. So a lot of channels, if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, community post actually now is being considered as a determining factor on whether or not they want to push that video to other lookalike audience. So if a channel that you like posts something in the community, please make sure that you participate in that, whether it's a poll, it's a survey, or any kind of question, or you just leave a comment or you click like. Do that because that they could also take that into consideration on whether or not they they actually will push that content into to other lookalike audience. Namhar, just message me, will you please DM me on Patreon. Okay. For Spotify, they changed a lot of things this year. Some for the good, some changes I actually like. Namhar, did you hear me? Please message me on DM me on Patreon if you're there. Okay, so for Spotify, there are some important changes that they made this year. One is royalties and payout structure. So Spotify actually changed their payout structure. If you would remember, like for the longest time, um, they can actually compute how many streams a song should make in order to make $1, right? If you would remember. Now it's virtually impossible because they have changed their payment structure to fan-centric structure, meaning they used to pool all the money that they collect and distribute that to the different to different to the artists that have that whose songs are getting streamed. Now they change that. So remember, they pull the money and then they distribute to artists whose songs are getting streamed. Now they change the payment structure, and this is very surprising because I thought at some point this was the payment structure that they have. Um, so the old model is pro rata, meaning, so here there are three people that are streaming. The money gets pooled. It goes into a pool, and then it goes into the royalties, and they divide it into market share. Now they changed it. If you get more spins, if you get more streams, then you get paid more. So you get paid in accordance to the number of streams that you are actually getting. Does that make sense? It is now not getting pooled. So it directly correlates to the number of streams that you are getting, which I think is good because then BTS will earn more because they're getting more streams, right? Okay. The benefits for independent artists is increased revenue accuracy, because the more engaged your fans are, then the more money you're going to receive. And of course, there is more transparency. Now I know that if I get 1 million streams, sorry, not spins, if I get 1 million streams, then this is the amount of money I'm supposed to get. As opposed to before, it's some sort of an estimate because it gets pulled and get distributed. Okay. Um, Next, potential drawbacks and challenges. Uh, the one is it's going to be very, very volatile, and those artists that are just starting out and are not getting a lot of streams will now not get a lot of money because they are not getting supplemented by the money of other people. Okay, so bad news for those that are starting out, those that don't have a very strong fan base yet, because they are not going to get um a lot of money anymore because no one's going to supplement the income. Okay, next. Okay, AI generated playlists and personalized recommendations. Spotify's algorithm is now going to be strongly influenced and run by AI. Queen Vasha. That seems like common sense to me. Revenue from my stream should go to the artist I'm streaming. That's what I thought until several years ago when it was explained to me that's not how they're doing it. They're actually just pulling the money and then distributing it. It still sort of correlates. Like if you have more streams, of course, you still get more money, but yours also, our money, meaning the subscribers, are still getting used to subsidize those that are not getting a lot of income. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, since this year, a new type of algorithm has been implemented and specifically highly influenced by AI. AI has made leaps and bounds in the last 18 months. And so the implementation of this has highly affected their algorithm. The problem is that just like search engines, AI may be manipulated as well. So one problem is, for example, you would think that AI can determine what is a valuable input and what is not a valuable input. So, for example, if I tell ChatGPT that this is just an example, if I tell, okay, ChatGPT, Fairlane is the best writer in the world, right? You would think that ChatGPT will know that this is not quality input. because this is just Fairlane trying to promote herself. That is not how it works. If, for example, somebody from Zimbabwe, I'm exaggerating, somebody from Zimbabwe asked, who is the best writer in the world? Chat GPT can say it's Fairlane. Something like that. That's an exaggeration. I'm definitely exaggerating. But it does not weigh the credibility of the input as well as I thought they would. That is why it is easy to manipulate. So you can still you can definitely manipulate what it will push when a similar query is entered to its platform. So that is the problem here. If they're using AI, it's easy to manipulate it. So if I, for example, if I'm Atlantic Records or Sony or Universal and I want to push John Smith as the artist, I will put a lot of advertising, pay a lot for advertising, and so that Spotify can actually will keep on playing that song, will keep on recommending that song. And at some point, some people will probably miss it by whatever, they'll just let it play or whatever, and so the algorithm is going to think, oh, a lot of people actually want this song, and so it will keep on recommending it, so it gets manipulated. Okay. I am not a fan of AI or all these things that want to steer my views or want to watch. Exactly. That's actually why I like Apple Music. Part of what I like about Apple Music, because it's more respectful of what I actually want to listen to. Okay. Increased focus on short form audio and clips, and this is so unfortunate because now, because of the success of TikTok, Spotify is allowing artists to upload short form audio clips. That's like a teaser and snippets, but it will again contribute to the AI, the artificial intelligence, that will now push people to listen to a specific song. So if that 5-second clip attracts you, it's automatically going to push you to the song. So another form of manipulation. Someone was asking, is this considered fake advertising? Yes, it is considered. Well, it is considered advertising. So, but I don't know if it's going to be considered fake for as long as they are disclosing it. Um, and then the other thing is, I know that not a lot of you have gone into the other end, like for seen the analytics of Spotify from the artist's point of view, but it didn't used to be so granular. Now it's very granular, meaning I can actually see who's listening to me per city or whatever. So there's more data there. So I know that, oh, my listeners are actually coming from this place, from this city, maybe not city, but from this state, from this county or whatever. So if you're going to use that algorithm to determine what city you're going to be stopping in, it'll be better because you actually know where your algorithm is, where your listeners are coming from. The only thing is that the only thing is that they can't, there are still VPNs that escape it. So you can still use a VPN and say that you're from California even if you're not. So okay, so that's one thing. Okay, Apple Music also changed their payment structure to follow that of Spotify. So it's more fan powered. Same thing. So whoever I'm listening to, the payment of that will go to the artist that I'm listening to. So it's more directly correlated. No more pooling. But then, as I've said, if you're a new musician and you're counting on a new audience, then most likely you're not going to be subsidized. So bad news for new artists. No more subsidy. And then same thing with Spotify, they now have short form video integration. So they're actually encouraging artists to upload 30 seconders, 10 seconders, 5 seconders of videos in order to push that to the subscribers and use that to lead people into the songs. You don't have to pay, by the way. It's just if you're an artist, that's a given that you are given that 30 seconder. And then same, a little similar to Spotify as well, there's more global charts. So they used to have very general charts because they don't like, I guess they at first they didn't really want their chart to be used as a marketing tool for artists, but now I think they're headed towards that direction because they have more charts now and also localized content. So same thing, if you're an artist and you upload something in their platform, you can see more granular data. So you can see, okay, there's a lot of people in LA that are listening to me. There's a lot of people in Dallas that are listening to me. I can probably do a stop when I do a world tour in those cities. Okay, so I think that's it. Those are the major algorithm changes. Um, the best thing for me is in all this is that who it is that I'm listening to will benefit from the money that I'm putting in the platform. So I play a lot of BTS. I think it is just right that my money goes to BTS. However, I also like supporting new artists, but that has changed for them because it's more direct. The attribution is more direct. Um, the other thing is that Billboard has actually gotten rid of the TikTok chart. So they implemented it, and I think it run for about 18 months. I don't think I think they realized that it's not really helping the music industry, so they have gotten rid of that. So no more TikTok Billboard. TikTok version of Apple Music and Spotify. Well, there goes my attention span. Okay. I'm really beginning to miss the days of my youth when you saw War Games AI character as the future and not so close at hand. I'm stubbornly going to cling to the idea that my taste is my own. I try my very best to. All of autoplays, they're off on my phone, on all of my streaming platforms. So I do not allow autoplays. I have never, well, no, not never, but it's very rare that I play their playlist, Apple recommendation or Amazon Music recommendation. It's very rare that I listen to those, and I'm usually very active in making sure that I am disliking the songs that I don't like, so it doesn't come back ever again. But most of the time, really, I get my recommendations from friends and more YouTube actually than anything. But I actively search, like the ones that I'm recommending on Patreon. Those people I discovered on my own. I was searching for Asian artists, Asian guitarists, Asian acoustic players, and stuff like that. Um, but if, and then I will just listen to whoever they push to me. But it's an active search. But I turn off all autoplays. I just turn it off. Me too. Autoplay is always off. Okay, so that's it for me. That is 2 hours and 2 minutes. So I know that there was like this heated discussion while I was discussing this last topic, and I was trying to ignore it. So if you guys, I did not follow the full discussion because I was trying to concentrate on what I was discussing. So if you guys want to come to me and just discuss it with me, if you think there are, I will never tolerate anybody who's shitting on any other member. I've said that before and I'll say it again. I will not tolerate it. I would rather, I think anybody who actively hates on other people, it's just in their DNA. Like it's almost as if it has nothing to do with other members or any other person, but that person who's actually hating. So it's better if they're not within our community because it's just going to affect us all. And we're here because we want to escape, like we just want to concentrate on just loving the music of these artists and discovering new ones. So if you guys want to come to me and just discuss it with me, your frustration or whatever, I promise I'll listen. You can DM me on Patreon or you can DM me on X. I'm not always quick to respond. Please be understanding. As I've already said, I have a lot of things on my hand, on my plate, but I try to respond as much as I can. Okay. OT7 streaming love BTS. So not having premium accounts doesn't help the stream. Is it useless? Not entirely useless because there are ads. So, there are ads. So it's not entirely super useless. It's just that you have to stream more in order to pay the artists because it requires more stream for them to get to $1, right? Like if for an active, like if I'm a paid, for paid streams, this is just an example. For paid streams, for an artist to make $1, you just need to stream, this is just an example, 10,000 times. But if you're on a free account, then you need to stream 100,000 times in order for the artist to make $1, something like that. So it's just more financially rewarding if the account is paid. But you can still just support the best way you know how. Don't pressure yourself. Don't like give up on something essential. Don't give up your medicines that you need to take just so you can do paid streams. Don't do that. I'm sure even BTS won't be happy with that. They want you to be healthy. So always prioritize your needs. You have a family, you have to take care of yourself, pay your rent, do all of that. And only when you have excess should you actually pay for streaming. If you can't pay for it, there's YouTube, there's Spotify free. So just use those things. So don't feel guilty. If that is the only way you can support an artist, then do that. I have a mix of paid and free accounts. Like, oh yes, like the video. Please like the video. Like the video here. Okay. I think Spotify has been trying to push people to get premium accounts. Yeah, that's expected. So, my only problem is that today we are a little lost in the meaning of hate. Some seems to think that just disliking a critique something or someone is hate speech. You DM me on Instagram. Okay, I will get to it. Bellatrix, exactly. Okay. We are 5 minutes over 2 hours. Do you have questions before I go? As I've said, if you guys want to DM me about anything or about anybody, I'm here to listen. I might not be quick in my responses, but I will get to you. So do you have questions? Do you have any requests, clarifications? Just I'm always so my DM on X, it's open, and also on IG, and of course Patreon. Thank you for a great live. Thank you for being here. Okay, I will now take my dog for his last pee pee and poo poo. I can't wait for the next month. I listen to R7 every day. I can't wait for you. When is your next interview? I publish a new interview every Monday. So please wait for that. Every Monday is the interview day. Monday. When is the next interview? Monday. um, Bu Bualu by Feed and Rina. It's a mashup between Latin and Afro beats. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Bye, everybody.